A common characteristic of strong teams at any level is what happens in training. One of the key things for me when watching a team train is how competitive the group is with each other. I've always found that teams that are very competitive in training with one another tend to be stronger teams when they step on the field and more ready to play the game for a couple reasons. One, when you're competitive in training, that competition, that desire to do well, often encourages players to train harder and work harder in training and really focus and try and develop new skills because they don't want to lose. That competition, that desire and will to win is critical for development. Players have to have it in order to grow as players. It doesn't mean we try to win without trying to learn the game. That's something completely different. But great development also requires a great deal of competition and that desire to win. That is the kind of fuel often that makes players train harder, work longer because they want to have success. All right, so that don't get that confused. There's people who will put winning ahead of learning, and then players aren't learning and growing, and that's different than making practices competitive and making players competitive and that desire to win and be successful, which drives that desire to learn and grow. And again, practice then prepares you a little more for the game because when you step in the game and you're playing against another team, often that team is going to be playing their hardest against you, trying to beat you. And the only way to prepare for that is for the way to be in training as well. So when I watch teams train and they're playing any type of game or activity, and there's a great sense of competition and pride and work rate and support within the players that every moment of that practice is important. They don't want to miss opportunity to be successful. Often those teams are more prepared when they step on the field to play a game because they're used to that competition. The competition in training can often sometimes be more difficult, tougher. They're challenged more by their peers and their teammates, which is fantastic, than any other team or player can challenge them. And those are signs of great teams. I've heard coaches say it before, I've had coaches say to me, training practice should be harder than the game, or practice and training should make the game easier. And part of that is a very competitive group in training. So that's something as coaches, kind of within the training session, you want to try to encourage. You want that competitive element in training. You want to kind of nurture that passion, desire to have success, and get those small wins in training sessions that players take pride in, and support each other to try to get. So it's a key element to any successful team, probably, on or off the field, that, there's that competitive drive to be successful, and help each other learn and grow. But that is a key element to any team. So if you're running a training session, think about what competitive elements do you have in this session to help prepare your players, not only just for the game, but help to drive their desire and need to develop as players and individuals.